times Donald Duck was the foreman. So I'm going to search anytime. I'm only going to search the on-shift logs. Then I'm going to come down to the bottom, and I'm going to search my template fields, and I'm going to say, show me every time Donald Duck was the foreman. Get entries. So now it's brought back 27 log entries, and in each one of these, Donald Duck will be the foreman. Okay, so what do I do now? Well, up here in the upper right-hand corner, there's a link that says Get Detail Report, and this is the same report I opened for you earlier. It's just that it has multiple records on it. And it actually corresponds with these green check marks that you see over on the right. So I could say, you know what, I don't want this one, and I don't want this one, and I don't want this one. Now go get me the detailed report. So there's one way I can do it. Now I've got a detailed report. But to be quite honest, I don't want 7 pages worth of report to find out when Donald Duck worked as foreman. So if I go hit my back key and go back to the search page, down here in the bottom left-hand corner, there's a little report section. I can ask for a summary report instead and go get a report that way. And so it looks something like that. So now I'm down to 1 page, and it tells me at the bottom there's 27 entries. So now I know I have a report, but if I don't like this report or if I want additional information, you always have the option to get your results as Excel. And we'll see where this is going to open. Okay, I'll make that a little bit bigger for you. And this actually brings back every single piece of information about the record, and you can just format this to look like whatever you want it to look like. So there's your report for you. Okay, so in a nutshell, this is how eLogger works. We talked about putting information in. We talked about putting taking information out. There's lots of other little features that you can turn on or off when you're in eLogger, tracking completion of log entries, required entries or reminders to do certain tasks at certain times. But I guess it's easier for me to stop at this point and just say, what other questions do you have? Is there something that you need it to do that you haven't seen it do? Rather than turn this into a training session and show you every single feature. So do you have any questions?
Hey, Will, you might know the answer, but this is Kurt, and I don't know the answer. Is this hosted on your servers on your site? Is this hosted locally on a web service to a local database?
Well, if Will doesn't know the answer, I do. It's actually installed. It's installed on a server at your location, and you access it via your network.
Okay.
Okay, BJ, I have a question. I followed up on that PGE reference you gave me, and I talked to a guy at the Cayo generation plant down there in Boardman, and he was impressed with your product here, but he kind of reinforced the fact that if we are going to use Pi data, that we needed to make sure that we let you know that we would be interested in that interface. Can you kind of expand on that?
Actually, I can. Let me give you a little bit of background about PGE first. When they initially wanted to connect to their Pi system, eLogger did not have that functionality built in. So we wrote some custom stuff for them to connect to Pi, and they are still using that. In the latest and greatest version of eLogger, you can connect to Pi in a different fashion. So his method of doing it and your method of doing it would be a little bit different. It's actually built into the application now under the system administration function. There's under the templates feature where you build your custom data entry screens. There's actually an external data query editor where you can basically, I don't know if there's any SQL people on here, but you can do the select star from Pi where this is equal to this. So you can actually write a query to go collect the information from Pi and populate it. So he has a different method of doing that because his was custom. So I guess that's the answer to that. So the answer is no, we don't need to know about it anymore. But when he went live with eLogger, he did need to know, we did need to know about it.
Okay.
And by the way, it's not just Pi that we connect to. We actually use eLogger to connect to any kind of database that'll accept an ODBC connection, whether that's your maintenance management system. Here internally, we use it to connect back to eLogger itself and compile or summarize data from eLogger itself onto one screen. It's kind of a neat feature. Are there any other questions? Okay, if that's the case, Will, I'm going to turn it back over to you. How about that?
Okay, so basically, after viewing this demo, we will discuss the functionality internally to see if we want to proceed with looking into this product. And if that is the case, I will get a hold of you, BJ, here in the near future, and we can kind of go from there.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. It's been great talking with all of you this afternoon.
Okay, thanks, BJ. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.